The calculator, get the statistics you need, and make a histogram. So the first thing you're going to do on your calculator is you're going to go to Stat and Edit. And this is one variable statistics, meaning you're only studying a list of numbers about one thing. So I put in my list all the hours of screen time a day that people said that they have. So I have a bunch of data in list 1, and so go ahead and enter the data. If you want to follow the video, pause the video, and then come back because it's going to take you a while. I put in 70 pieces of data or something, okay? Once you have all of your data in the list, so for you, these are going to be heights of your baseball players, you're going to go to Stat, and you're going to go to Calculate. We've done this before. We are not doing a regression in this case. We're not comparing two things. We're just looking at one thing. So what we really want to do is this first calculation, one variable stats. So I'm going to press Enter. Okay. If you use the list other than L1, you would want to put that this is, you would want to put that it's L1. Okay. L1 is what it's going to default to. Those of you that have the newer calculator, it'll ask you the list. Type the name of the list using these keys down here. And then the frequency you can leave blank, and then you can just press Calculate. And so then you guys will get a screen like this. Like we talked about today in class, X bar is the average. So my average is 4.6. These other things are things that helped calculate the average. We're not going to use them right now. Our standard deviation is this one right here with the S. So my standard deviation is 2.6. So my data has an average of 4.6. And the measurement of how spread the data is from the average is 2.6, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow. The rest of the information here gives you the number of pieces of data, which is 70, and then it gives you guys the 5-number summary. So my minimum was 1, my Q1 was 3, my median was 4, my Q3 was 6, and my max was 15. Okay? So now, if I want to build, so what you guys are going to do, you're going to enter your data on heights. You have a lot of data, okay, probably about 100 pieces. Then you're going to do this calculation. You're going to get the mean and the standard deviation, which it asked you for. Then I asked you guys to create a histogram. So just like when you wanted to create a scatter plot, you're going to go into Stat Plot, and you're going to turn on one of your plots. So I'm turning on plot 1. Go ahead and pick the histogram. And then notice it just wants to know one list because at this point you only has one. Mine's in list 1, so that's fine. You can keep your frequency at 1. You can change it if you want to look at changed intervals. Okay? So then I'm going to go ahead and I'm done with this, so I'm going to quit. I'm going to go to my y equals and clear out anything else so it's only graphing my plot, which in this case is a histogram. I'm going to press graph. Okay, I'm not really seeing what I want to see. If that's your case, let's go zoom and choose choice 9 because that's zoom stat. So here's my histogram. Okay. So if I trace my histogram, they're telling me how they made it. Okay. So the N right here, 15. There's 15 people, and they're telling me this histogram measures people who put from 1 to 3. Okay, and notice it says the max is less than 3, so 3 is going to be included in the next bar. So this is basically including 1 and 2, or 2 point something. And there's 15 people that said that. There are 24 people who put from 3 to less than 5 hours of screen time. There are 21 people who said 5 to less than 7 hours of screen time. There are 4 people that said from 7 to less than 9 hours. There are 4 people that said from 9 to less than 11 hours. 1 person said from 11 to less than 13. Nobody said from 13 to less than 15. And 1 person said from 15 to less than 17. So there's my histogram. I would draw this. You would see in my case that the data does not appear to be normally distributed based on the histogram. I would expect the median to be kind of over here on the left side where most of the data is, but I would expect the average to be slightly higher than that on the right because of the way that this is positively skewed or skewed to the right. So for tonight's homework, that should help you enter the data, build a histogram, and get the quick information and calculations from your statistics, and that will be useful for your project also.